So we know the Welsh knows his prospects, but what did I see in the Arizona Fall League? Let's find out on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Saturday, November 11th. I am Frank Sample, joined by Chris, the Welsh. These are some observations that I made last weekend when I was out at the Arizona Fall League, and the first one up is Cardinals outfield prospect Victor Scott, who every single time he was on base, he was looking to run. The first game that I saw, he hit a single. What did he do? He stole second base. In the Fall Stars game, he got on base 3 times. Guess how many steals he had? That's right. He had 3 steals each time he was on. He had 94 steals in the minors this past season. And I think the obvious comp here is Esteury Ruiz, who had crazy numbers in the minors as well. Welsh, do you think that there is a better hit tool here with Victor Scott compared to an Esteury Ruiz?
I do. It's a very, very talented kid who, he told me something that I'd love to hear because so many minor league prospects I've talked to have just really not had big hands-on developmental stuff. Like you have coaches and they have things they work on, but like when you're getting into more analytics and charts and blast chart and stuff like that. And he had said that the Cardinals had kind of already put him and gave him the homework. And now it was time to kind of do that. And that's what he's been doing over the last year. And you're seeing come in here to the AFL where, by the way, if you count the AFL numbers to the regular season, he has stolen over 110 bases in 2023. He also pairs that with double-digit homers. He had 9 in the regular season, 3 out here in the AFL. He's showing the ability to loft. He can easily bunt. He's a problem on infield singles. And now if you start to get that like doubles power to be in play, this is a guy who is a theoretical potential 300 hitter. Where the power plays in the majors is the big question, but this isn't a slap hitter. This is a guy that is getting the ball in the air and has put it up double digits in 2023. And I think he's a guy to bet on. He's one of my top guys to bet on coming out of the AFL.
One of the biggest names out in the Arizona Fall League was Guardians prospect Chase DeLauter, who was probably the most poised hitter I saw while I was there. A game on last Friday afternoon. He went 1 for 3 with a double and 2 walks. Great feel for the strike zone. So far in the AFL, hitting 280, 5 homers, 5 steals, more walks than strikeouts. Former first-round pick. He's 22 years old. I think there's like 2020 upside here long-term, Welsh. The question is, do we see any of that upside in 2024?
Yeah, you said like polish, poise. I think those are like good words to go with Chase DeLauter because he's got crazy raw power in a unique kind of hit tool. Like the bat doesn't complete like a full back swing. It kind of stops at the front, similar to like how Mike Trout can do it. He can steal. He's 6'4", 235. He's got some of the best plate presence out here. So that poise, polish hitter, like he's the best hitter. He's making the best decisions, and he can kind of do a little bit of everything. Leads the AFL. And he's going to walk out of this, I believe, leading the AFL in RBI, and he's been hitting in a prime spot, playing every single day after suffering an injury during the season. Does he play early in 2023? I'd guess not. I'd say the Guardians guy that does that is Kyle Manzardo. Does he play in 2024? I think I said 2023. In 2024, Manzardo starts. I believe you see DeLauter at some point mid-season to a little bit later for the Guardians, and I think he's a prime player to help this team hit in the middle of the order. So I think RBI, runs, stolen bases, homers, and batting average are heavy in play with low strikeout numbers. There's a lot to like about DeLauter.
The last name I want to mention is Emiliano Teodo, someone I know you've talked a lot about. He was basically the talk of the town out at First Pitch, Arizona. Everyone's talking about how live that arm is. And so far, he has thrown 11 shutout innings, 19 strikeouts to just 3 walks in the AFL. I saw him in the Fall Stars game and got the full experience. He threw 1 inning, 0 hits, but 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches, 2 wild pitches, consistently hitting over 100 miles per hour with that fastball. So there's big raw stuff here. There's big talent, and I think he could be a closer of the future. Welsh, your thoughts on Emiliano Teodo?
If you play in a deeper dynasty league and you're looking to get a reliever, last year I would have told you Abner Uribe from the AFL, who looks like this could be a future closer with the Brewers. And I would tell you Emiliano Teodo, which I did over the weekend, is one of those guys. You heard it right here. Frank and I talking with James Triantos, who wiggled in his seat when I brought him up. 102 to a 117 location plus on the slider. All he did was locate his slider out here. High stuff plus numbers on the fastball, which touches 102, and maybe the development of a sinker, which is going to be even better when you're talking about tunneling. He was a starter. I think he's going to go into relief. He is probably my favorite bet for a dynasty closer in the future that has been scaring hitters since Complex League.
Again, the name there, Emiliano Teodo, that's spelled Teodo. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Audacy app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again next week. Bye-bye!